eyes are feeling red again. I'm bringing light like Thomas Funky Anderson. Been in the desert for 47 days, purple haze, the poison that it tasted never change.
He expected upwards of 1,000 people to gather on the steps of the Vancouver Art Gallery. Many doubted he'd get that many, but in the end, at least 1,000 did show up. More than enough, he said, to make the point, and more than enough to turn the usual downtown routine upside down.
Even the most expanded of minds didn't expect so many people to openly break the law just a few meters from the top court in the province.
Beginning of a long revolution, then what the f*** is? This, my friends, is the herb of life. We're not criminals for using this. That's bullshit.
Pot smokers will tell you that marijuana, unlike alcohol, does not lead to violence.
America must be destroyed!
Idiots!
Well, they're just
What's this all about?
Smoke is a bad name, you know, really.
Idiots!
It's a peaceful, non-confrontational rally, and we're asking you to stop.
And as one would expect at a smoke-in, there was marijuana. Lots and lots of it, and smokers well practiced. And with each toke, the conversation would grow more animated. But this was not an issue about legalization.
If it was decriminalized so everybody could grow it and smoke it, and then the government can grow it for to save the forests, for more fuel.
Paper, t-shirts.
Many things.
Feel guilty for not having done more in the 60s when there was a better chance to get it legalized, you know?
Smoke into the atmosphere and you're worrying about a joint? My God!
I don't advocate any kind of pollution. How can you justify marijuana for the environment when it puts smoke into the environment?
These guys forget we did this 20 years ago, right? You know, it didn't work then, it won't work this time.
Despite all the law-breaking going on, police kept their distance. Officers patrolled the blocks around the gallery, but did not interfere. On the surface, at least, it was all love and peace. But literally, underground, in a nearby parking lot, a drug bust.
I don't have a lawyer, I can give you a number for legal aid. You understand that? You understand what I'm saying to you?
Oh, so you're going to pick up everybody?
Hey, I'm talking to you, I'm not talking to you.
Police thought they had snagged a major drug deal. But after a lengthy search, 2 men were arrested for possession of prohibited weapons.
And hey, no one is paying me a cent for this, so I'm not trafficking, okay?
I'm saying, think about a reefer 5 feet long, baby. A little high, a little bit high, but not full on. You like to drag on. I'm the king of everything. Well, I got to be high before I can sing. When the sky is high, you know, so am mine. Use a viper, you drag on, 'cause you love to.
A handful of Hemp supporters on Vancouver Island staged their own rally today in Nanaimo. It was a spur-of-the-moment demonstration, but close to 100 people were on hand at one point to light up in front of the city's courthouse. There was no advance publicity and police were nowhere to be seen. There were no arrests and there was no trouble. For the people who turned out for those rallies and the thousands of others across the province who indulge in marijuana, there is no shortage of supply on the streets of BC. In fact, you may be surprised to know that marijuana is so popular in this province that the people who grow the drug in BC have become among the best pot cultivators in the world, and their crop is being exported everywhere.
Chances are the weed inhaled in downtown Vancouver was BC grown. Most of it is coming from indoor hydroponic growing labs. Police say there are about 5,000 of these around the province, but drug squads only catch about 1/10 of the growers.
The amount of money that people are making from grow labs is enormous. A small part of your basement, for example, if you grew 50 plants in your basement, which isn't a great amount, you could expect a yield of at least 20 pounds. Hydroponic marijuana sells for between $3,000 and $5,000 a pound. If you sold it for $3,500 a pound, you would see a profit of about $70,000. Well, that's just one crop. You can get 3 crops per year. So you can see that if you're making over $200,000 from a corner of your basement, you're doing pretty well.
Mac Donnell is an undercover member of the drug squad and can't reveal his identity, but says he has seen the hydroponic growing operations take over. 80% of marijuana sold on the street is now grown right here in BC. One of the reasons BC homegrown is so popular is that it's so strong. Marijuana has been the drug of choice on the West Coast for 30 years, and growers have well-developed systems.
Back in the 60s and 70s, when pot really became popular, it was outdoor marijuana with a 1 to 2% THC level. Well, we're seeing now the THC levels in the upper teens and into the 20%.
The traditional method of aerial surveillance doesn't work with the billion-dollar indoor drug industry, but Mac Donnell has a warning for any prize-winning pot producers.
If you're any type of a gardener and enjoy growing plants, you're going to be proud of them, and people tend to want to show off what they've been growing and what they're proud of, and that's usually their undoing.
The sister of a North Vancouver man who was shot and killed by police during a drug raid will not face drug charges. Kelly Posse was arrested last week during a drug raid on a Burnaby home. Crown Counsel has now decided there was not enough evidence to link her to the cocaine and marijuana seized by police. Her father, Darren Posse, criticized the timing of the arrest, which came during an inquest into Danny Posse's death at the hands of police.
My eyes are feeling red again. I'm bringing light like Thomas Funky Anderson. Been in the desert for 47 days, purple haze. The poison that it tasted never changed.